Interested in ISO 27001? Over the next few minutes, let me explain how me and my team can help you achieve it. ISO 27001 is a management standard that focuses on the way your business manages information security. It provides a framework to build what's known as an Information Security Management System, or ISMS, which is really just the ISO name for your collection of policies, procedures, and processes you have in place to meet the ISO requirements and your business's information security needs. This framework allows for a large amount of customization on some optional controls, known as Annex A, or Statement of Applicability controls. By tweaking these controls, you can right-size and customize ISO 27001 to be perfect for your business, ensuring all relevant controls are present and removing irrelevant ones that may not be applicable to you, such as physical security controls for a remote business. In addition to ISO 27001, you may also have heard of SOC 2. In fact, you may even be considering getting it. So I just want to quickly outline these two standards to give you a better understanding of what to expect from both. SOC 2 is similar in controls to ISO 27001, with about 96% similarity between the two standards. SOC 2 provides a fantastic framework to build your information security management system. And due to its high similarity to ISO 27001, getting ISO accredited can really help you achieve a clean SOC 2 report. But therein lies the major difference between SOC 2 and ISO 27001. ISO allows you to obtain a certification and tell your customers that you are ISO 27001 certified. However, SOC 2 provides only an attested report. You can't become SOC 2 certified or accredited. You can only receive this report, which you can then provide to your customers. Obtaining that report can also take a long time. SOC 2 audits can be a long and cumbersome process, taking as long as 12 months to complete the report. Of course, all that time really adds up the cost, so depending on the size of your business, SOC 2 reports can get very expensive. ISO audits, on the other hand, can take a lot less time. They're very dependent on the size of your business and how many physical offices and staff members you have, but generally, audits will take anywhere from 2 to 3 days for a smaller business, up to a week or two for larger ones. ISO audits come in two parts, Stage 1 and Stage 2. Stage 1 is really for your benefit, giving you an idea of what still needs to be done to get you ready for your Stage 2, also known as the certification audit. Non-conformities with the standard raised during Stage 1 audits will not affect your ability to get certified. Non-conformities raised in the Stage 2, however, will, and they'll need to be resolved on a timeline agreed with the auditor before they will issue you with a certificate. In summation, a SOC 2 report is a powerful tool, especially when dealing with complex customer requirements for cybersecurity. However, I don't believe it is as good a tool as ISO 27001, especially when it comes to setting yourself apart from the competition. In my experience, when clients think they want a SOC 2 report, they actually don't, and an ISO 27001 certification would be a much better fit. That leads me very nicely onto the advantages of obtaining an ISO 27001 certification. I've worked with businesses of all sizes, from multinational businesses to small 2 or 3 person startups, and one of the most common reasons I hear for achieving the standard is confidence. Confidence from your customers and clients that you manage your information security well and in line with industry best practices. And confidence from you that your business is safe and secure. We've seen clients go from spending a lot of time and resources answering client questionnaires about information security to getting all that time back when the questionnaires end early due to them having achieved ISO 27001. Having the ISO badge on your website can go a long way in giving your customers confidence in your information security, and in most cases allows for painless supplier evaluations where they'll simply ask if you have ISO and be done with it. One of our clients recently received a big contract for a high street brand for tens of thousands of pounds, which had the requirement for a UCAS accredited ISO 27001 certification baked into the contract itself. The client was very happy that they decided to get ISO accredited. Situations like this are not uncommon, and it really goes to show that when you're working with bigger clients, ISO 27001 isn't just useful for confidence, it's required before you can even start working with them. So, what are you in for? ISO 27001 is a way of life, not just a driving test. It changes the way you run your business every day of the week. It's not a test that you can pass or fail. The changes it makes to the way that you manage your information security to meet industry best practices does, however, come with a time investment from you and your team, even if you're outsourcing the day-to-day management and implementation to a third-party provider, like us. Policies will need to be followed, not just written. Meetings, including management review meetings, which will require time from you and your leadership team, will need to be conducted, and ongoing processes like recertification, internal audits, and a whole host of other things will need to be managed every day until you decide you no longer want to maintain your certification. All this contributes to a fair whack of day-to-day management that can easily fall to the wayside if you're just assigning it to a member of staff with other responsibilities. Having someone dedicated within your business who can manage it is paramount if you want to maintain compliance. Outsourcing day-to-day management of the ISMS is a great way to do this, especially for smaller businesses, or any business that doesn't have the bandwidth or expertise in-house. If you'd like to hear more about that, please stick around afterwards to talk to a member of the team. In our experience, ISO 27001 projects can take up to 9 months from start to finish, which includes both initial implementation and a few months of management to generate the evidence needed to pass the audit. If you wanted to start tomorrow, the lead times for audits can be 4 or 5 months, which should be enough time to get your implementation completed in time for your Stage 1 audit. Working with past clients, we've found 8 to 12 hours a week dedicated to implementation of the ISMS to be sufficient to achieve the ISO 27001 standard in a reasonable timeline. This includes when outsourcing, as even if you are outsourcing some or all of the implementation, implementing ISO 27001 affects your whole business, and so rolling out those changes can take time. Implementers, like us, can only move as fast as the rest of the business can adapt to the new policies and procedures. You still have the day job to do, and so we can only introduce so much, so fast, each month, as your team has lots of other things to be getting on with. So, where do you start? To understand the best place to start with ISO 27001, you should consider getting a gap analysis. A gap analysis will help you know which area of your business will require the most attention by finding the gaps between what you have in place currently and what the standard requires. A gap analysis will help give you or your implementer a much better idea of the timeline for implementation, which will impact the projected costs and time expected before you can achieve the certification. It will also help prevent wasted work and allow for the implementation team to work more autonomously, as a lot of the information they require to get on with their work will be gathered during the gap analysis, meaning less disruption and time commitment from the rest of your team. Finding an auditor should also be high on your priority list, as many auditors have waiting lists about as long as the implementation timeline. When looking for an auditor, make sure that they're UCAS accredited. Any certificate that isn't UCAS accredited is not worth the paper it's printed on, as only UCAS certified audits and certifications will be accepted by your customers and clients. So, how can Cool Waters help? Cool Waters specializes in helping you gain and retain the certifications your clients demand. Our goal has always been to let you relax and sleep well at night, knowing that your compliance needs and information security are well in hand and managed. Managed Cyber Team has already helped businesses achieve ISO 27001 without all the stress that going it alone would take, and we're committed to doing that for you too. If you want to talk more about ISO or anything else that we've spoken about here today, please stick around for the Q&A, where we'll be happy to share our expertise to help you understand what is best for your business and what certifications are right for you. And now, over to Mark.